Friends, I just landed the Ruko F11 Pro version 2. Time to start testing it. So let's get cracking. All right, so let's see what we got in the box. Of course, Ruko F11 Pro 2 Fly Safe Capture Excellence. Quick highlights: 3-axis brushless gimbal, 4K 30 frame per second video, long range of image transmission, and super long flight time. Of course, we got a storage case. Zipper goes both ways. Protective cover. A pair of batteries. And the drone. Of course, we'll have to add an SD card in a moment. It has got a protective lens. We'll take that off later. Material is plastic. Device is, of course, light. We'll set it aside for a moment. Obviously, we've got the controller. It has got a nice heft. This is the charging port. We'll attach these in a bit and, of course, run through features as well. In the storage pouch, we have got the charging cable. Notice this is charging. There's also a data transfer. Let's track that down. User manual, quick start. This is the data cable. We've got extra parts in here. Feels to me like a replacement if we lose one of the thumbsticks. Amazon store. And the shortcuts we can add to the controller. And of course, extra props and a screwdriver. Quickly open up a battery. Battery test. You can see it's only got 1 bar. Here is our USB-C charging port, and I am going to put this on the charger to get it ready for use. Of course, the same with the controller. While it's charging, you should also visit the FAA drone zone. Of course, you can find the link in the manual. You want to switch to the drone owners and pilots dashboard. Of course, you need to check out all the information, but right now we need to manage the device inventory. Of course, I did the add a device option, and now you can see the F11 Pro 2 is active. All right, one huge thing I want to stress. You can use the quick guide to get it up in the air, but you really need to check the manual before you do. The more you know about your drone, the less you have a bad first day and make a mistake. I do also want to highlight, there are 3 different ways this connects. I've got mine using the Apple one. It plugs in. You can simply close it like that so it's always ready. This is for an older Android phone, and this is for the new USB-C phones. So you've got to have the right one before you head out there. Do make sure you have that before your first flight. All right, so of course we've got the drone out here. I've added the Ruko Mini app. This is one of the cool things I want to show you. When you launch this one, it's going to connect via a cable instead of over Wi-Fi. Let's get it set up. All right, so we're ready for an outdoor flight. Let's open it up. Got the name Ruko, and the front ones go first, then the back ones. I have added an SD card and formatted it. And of course, we got to make sure we open up the gimbal. I'm going to power it on. And we'll set it out here. And of course, let's store this in the case. Grab the controller. We'll attach the thumb knobs. Then we're going to power it on. And when you open this up, we need to attach the cable to the phone. You can swap them out. There are 3 different versions. With that cable out, I'm going to get the phone in here, and then the cable just spins around and attaches just like that. Once you've got it connected, you can hit confirm, and then bingo, you can see we are getting the video from the camera. I could take pictures. I'm going to want video mode. Notice this is a note for the transmission port. I'm going to peel these off right now because I don't need those anymore. Before we fly, we do want to make sure that we've got enough connections. You can see right there how many satellites there are. Also want to make sure you know how to auto land. There's your up and your down and your compass. And friends, let's get it started. Once again, I'm going to hit I have hit record. Pull them down to start it. And of course, lift off. All right, I'm going to bring it down a little lower so that we can see it in the camera frame. All right, so there we've got it in the frame. We'll spin around a little bit, just do some local flying. It is a little breezy today, not terribly, but a little. All right, so I am dubbing audio afterwards. Right now, the wind started to pick up, and it just made it a little bit less nice out there. Of course, it was a gorgeous day, and as I mentioned, the breeze does start to pick up. We can just tool around for a minute, though, and give it a fun flight. The controls are really responsive, and it's pretty amazing that it is staying this stable when the breeze is picking up and gusting as I fly. With me on camera, let's try that gimbal really quick. It is on the front of the controller. Super easy to move it up and down, and holy mackerel, that is smooth. Let's see just how high we can get this using beginner mode. Well, we are up above the trees, and bingo, there we are, locked out at 100 feet. As you can see in Michigan, we are getting fall, starting to lose the color in our trees. Pretty amazing to land an awesome day like this with just a moderate breeze and such gorgeous skies. Perfect day for drone flying. This is a good example of just how windy it is in the top of the trees. They are really starting to move around a bit. Of course, the drone is still rock solid. How cool is that? And as we bounce back to controls, I'm going to just hit auto home. And let's speed this up as she comes back all by herself. I'm chopping up the footage, but as you can see, there she is dropping. Bring her back into the big frame. There's my little mat that I'm landing her on. And oh, so close. But we missed by about 6 inches. Pretty awesome flight, though. All right, so let's quickly take a peek at settings. If we enter right here, I can shut off beginner mode. That lets me go up 400 feet, 10,000 meters. It's got a return altitude of 65 feet. Also, you can see the pictures in the photo scale, and it's got the grid. I'm going to stick with those and back out. Let's launch it again and try some other tricks. Of course, the first trick is I'm going to take it up. We're going to get some better views. Right there, we've passed 150 feet. There's 200 feet. $300 feet. Got a good look at Lake Michigan out there. 366 feet, and let's do a quick spin around and just see what everything looks like. Over there we've got Lake Macatawa. Really good look of fall near Holland, Michigan. There's the power plant and water tower. So I've already showed you a landing, so we're skipping that, but this is a photo I shot using the drone. How cool is that? In the features, we've got lots of modes to us. I'm going to quickly show you Circle Me. As you can see, though, I did not have my butt completely under it when it happened, so when it does circle, it backs up and goes around the spot where it was. So I just need to make sure I place myself better before I do it next time. I did take it up for one more flight, just trying to see if I could catch the sunset. Once again, popping her up to almost 400 feet, and there we are, beautiful Lake Michigan. I stayed up there for about 7 minutes. As you can see, this is just so stable as it's dropping down. It really blows my mind how the breeze does not affect the drone and the footage. And of course, auto home brings it back so darn easy. So that's my look at the Ruko F11 Pro 2, and honestly, I absolutely loved it. It flew smooth, and it was absolutely beginner friendly. If you're just getting into drones or you want something reliable without breaking the bank, this one is definitely worth a look. Friends, I do want to say thank you to everybody that supports me via YouTube memberships. There are 3 different levels of support starting as low as $5 a month. With any level of support, of course, you get early access to videos. Also, a massive shout out to my Patreon supporters. Love how that group is growing. We are almost up to 300 members. It has a fantastic messaging area where you can ask questions, post designs, gain skills. Of course, you can learn more with the bit.ly up above or the link in the description. Finally, friends, I want to thank you for watching. Don't forget, every time you hit that like button, hype button, share a video, add a comment down below, or click subscribe, you're helping HLModTech get just a little bit bigger, which absolutely makes my day. Friends, have a glorious day, and keep tinkering.